What we're seeing as farmers get more committed to growing soybeans year after year, they are getting a little bit more specialized equipment. And that'll include a flex header so that you can just hug the ground and not, you can get all those beans that are right low to the ground. As well, you'll see growers putting on air reels. If the beans are short and you cut them, they tend to fall out of instead of into the combine, and an air reel will blow those back in. There are other things that you can have too. There's bean knives, for instance, which are a little bit shorter. Perhaps they aren't as much of a problem if you have rocks and things like that. So the more you are committed to it, certainly spending money on a flex header is probably your best dollar for equipment. Rolling soybeans is done for basically one reason, and that is to smooth off the soil so that harvesting is easier. This means pushing down rocks or lumps of soil, or perhaps last year's corn stalks and that sort of thing. That'll allow you to run that cutter bar right along the ground and get those beans that are really low set to the ground. When a soybean plant is physiologically mature, you should have all of the pods will be brown and they will rattle as you roll them. So that, however, won't be the lowest moisture. You'd like them to dry down a little bit there. And if you can start to combine those at about 14% moisture, that'll allow you to harvest those beans without cracking them a lot, and yet it won't require a lot of drying once you get them into the bin. Well, seed producers will require to handle that seed a little more gentle than if you're just growing a crushed bean. So if you are growing it for seed, you'd want to make sure you've got conveyors rather than augers and that sort of thing. However, if it's going as crush only, it's not as critical if you have some splits and things in your sample. Some companies require beans to be 14%. Some will require beans to be a little bit drier than that. It depends a little bit on the harvest and if they can blend them off and what kind of a market that it's going into. If you're storing beans and planning on keeping them for a while, we would like to see them at the maximum about 14%. You can turn the air on them. Natural air drying will work with them, and if you get them cooled down, that will help to stop any spoilage, similar to other grains.